Do you remember when you used to go to school, secondary school I'm talking about, and there was sometimes a little kind of disagreement in the playground, and before you knew it, you'd have a circle around you saying, fight, 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 fight. And then you'd feel kind of honour bound to have a fight with someone, or the person you were having an argument with, just in case the mob turned on you. You may not have wanted to have a fight with this person, but you kind of had to do it because everyone else had got involved and was baying for blood. And then if you were really, really lucky, one of the teachers on duty would rush over and break it all up before someone got really seriously hurt. Well, I'm reminded of that because I watched the budget yesterday on television. Now normally I would read the newspaper headlines or listen to it on the radio or whatever, but watching it visually was, I have to say, really quite exciting because, you know, the amount of screaming and hurling of abuse across the parties was really quite fascinating, and it reminded me of that scene from school where people were around you saying, fight, 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 fight. And at any minute I was expecting Ed Miliband to leap over the desk and pummel George Osborne into the ground for what he was saying. And, you know, David Cameron was sitting there backing off and looking quite sheepish. But aside from that humorous outlook, you know, as with every budget, there's going to be winners and losers. But the thing I want to ask you to consider today is a simple question. Now, you will have noticed that they talked about the 50p tax for millionaires yesterday. So basically that means the richer you are, the more money you will save. So in some cases, you know, if you're earning £5 million a year, for example, which some people do, like the bankers, you potentially will have the government giving you back through the tax breaks something like over £250,000 or more. Now, okay, a lot of you might think, so what? But you know what? That tax break comes in from next month. But for you, me and everyone else in the country that's on a standard wage or even a substandard wage, we'll have to wait a whole year before our tax breaks come in. Now, to me, that doesn't strike me as being very, very fair. And so when you've got Ed Miliband standing up there saying this budget is designed for the rich, the wealthy and the millionaires of the country, you know what? I have to say that, you know, I can't see much wrong with what he's saying there. Because, you know, I don't know why we have to wait a year. Now, in the last budget, he said that this £10,000 threshold for our personal allowances on the tax wasn't going to come in until next year, 2015, sorry. But he's brought it forwards for a year. Now, if he can bring it forwards to 2014, April of, why can't he start it in April 2013? So that everyone in the country is treated the same. The Tories have this slogan, we're all in it together. Well, I would say to you that yesterday's budget shows that we're not all in it together, because why should the millionaires get their tax break next month from the 1st of April, and you, me and everyone else on a modest income or even a substandard income for all those low paid jobs out there, why should we have to wait that year? If they can do it for one, why not the other? Now, that doesn't strike me as being fair at all. Now, I'm not saying that the Tories are any worse than Labour, because I'm sure if Labour was in, they would be saying exactly the same thing. Because the more tax breaks you give, the more it kind of hits the overall deficit. But, you know, if this government is saying we're all in it together, then we really must be all in it together. Because, you know, I know people, and I'm sure you know people as well, that are on really, really low paid jobs. So low, in fact, it's insulting to call it, a living, because it's not a living. So if you're on, say, 10, 11, 12, 13,000, by the time your tax is taken off and your insurance, in most cases, people can perhaps pay their bills and they'll think, right, okay, I've paid the bills, what am I going to do for food? Well, fortunately, we still have working tax credits, which kind of does help you to get by week to week. But, any dreams or aspirations that you have of, say, owning your own home or saving up for mortgage is not likely to happen very quickly if you're only saving £42 a month. And then what's that £42 going to be spent on? Is that going to pay for the emergency things that crop up, like, an unexpected bill, someone slashed your tyre? Well, £42 isn't going to pay for a new tyre for your car. It barely pays the weekly shopping bill. So, if we're going to be in it together, we should be in it together. And I think it's absolutely disgusting that we'll have to wait an entire year before the personal allowances go up on our incomes. I don't know how you feel, whether you think that's wrong, or if you think I'm talking absolute garbage, then please leave a comment below. You know what I mean, just that bit down there. Sensible comments, though. Because I'm open for debate and discussion about this, because I think it's fascinating how, it's clearly obvious that one section of society is valued more warmly than the other section of society, and yet the other section of society are the people that make up the lion's share of society. So, when you're sitting at your checkout scanning your bits and pieces for your customers, or you're, whatever you're doing, a nurse, doctor, teacher, and you're thinking, God, I've got to wait a whole year for this tax allowance to come in. Now, on average, most people probably be better off by maybe £200, £250 per year as it stands at the moment. But, utility bills, shopping bills, fuel, car tax, car insurance. Well, I won't even go about car insurance. That I can talk about that for half an hour or more, but I won't, because we all know it's a rip-off. So, so my question is, and this is for you to answer, do you think we're truly in it together? ? Answer below. Okay, take care, look after yourselves, bye for now.